How's it going, Shuffle Squad YouTube channel? My name is PrimeTimeWizardTV, and today we're going to take a look at the Shuffle Squad's very own Calvin Connors, a second place Peoria Regional winning deck, and that is Palkia VSTAR with Inteleon. You heard that right, folks. Palkia VSTAR was able to get second place in one of the biggest regional championships out there. I mean, it's no surprise, right? Palkia VSTAR is an amazing amazing deck. It's one of the best decks of the previous format, and going into Lost Origin, yes, there are cards like Kyurem that you can add into a Palkia deck, but if Palkia Inteleon isn't broke, why fix it? Might as well just add a couple of techs for the current format, something like a Drapion and all that, just to fix the new matchup, and you know what? You're good to go. I mean, there are a lot of different techs in Calvin Connors' list. There's also the canceling cologne to cancel essentially Manaphy's or possibly even milk tanks if needed. Honestly, just great job to Calvin Connor, who's able to bring this deck to a second place finish, only losing to the finals to Tord Reklev, one of the best players in the world. So how about we give it a go on the ladder? Let's see if we can take a couple of wins as well. But of course, before anything, if you guys want to build this deck as well, don't forget to use the promo codes TSS5 to get 5% off the PTCGO store, or TSS12 to get 12% off your entire purchase at Atlas Collectibles. With that, let's go ahead and take a look at the deck list. All right, so this is the deck list we're going to be bringing here today. Again, this is Cal Connor's exact 60 in the Peoria Regional Championship. And at first glance, it does look like a typical Palkia VSTAR deck, but there are a couple of techs that I do want to talk about that I feel like, especially helpful in the current metagame, so very heads up of Cal to play. But first things first, of course, let's talk about the main man himself, Origin Form Palkia VSTAR, with the attack for 2 water energy, subspace well, the 60 plus 20 for each of the bench Pokemon. And so you max out at around 260 if your opponent also has a full bench, with a Choice Belt 290, with a Leon 320, so you're knocking out VMAXs potentially. Even if you're not doing just it's a very efficient attack for 2 water energy, and if you're taking 2 shots, I think that's fine as well. But again, there is that potential. It also has the VSTAR Power Star Portal. During your opponent's turn, you may attach up to 3 water energy cards from your discard pile to one of your water Pokemon. This is a great way of just consistently having Palkias on the powered up, but it's also a way to secretly power up a couple of your other Pokemon that you don't normally attack with. I think, well, technically Radiant Greninja here, that's one of the main attackers for sure. You can even power up your Inteleon, or something you could do if your opponent is trying to play around the Palkia. The Palkia V actually has an attack Hydro Break for 200 damage. During your next turn, you can't attack, but if backs against the wall, if your opponent is playing around a very low bench size, you can punish it, where you can use the Star Portal into Palkia V, attach a Choice Belt, you're doing 230, you're knocking out any Pokemon V, any basic Pokemon V anyway. With that, we also play a ton of support Pokemon. Let's start with Radiant Greninja, because we did talk about that. First, concealed cards, discard an energy card, and you're able to draw 2 cards. I'm sure you've seen this card before. One of the great attack, by the way, to have as well is Moonlight Shuriken for 2 water and a colorless. Discard 2 energy cards, and you're doing 90 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. This is very important in the single prize matchup, specifically the Lost Zone decks that are very, very popular at the moment. Yes, they do play stuff like Manaphy, but Cal is teching around that with the 1 Canceling Cologne. Absolutely love this addition to the card. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to Cross Switcher or boss up their Manaphy, use a Canceling Cologne, then use Radiant Greninja to take 2 prizes on the bench, which is not too bad. That's probably 2 Comphys, probably the only 2 Comphys in play. So that's definitely a great play to keep in mind, something I hope we get to showcase. Speaking of Manaphy, though, we are playing our own with the wave availability just to protect our own bench, just in case, because the Sobbles here are very, very important, because we are playing the Drizzile, the Shady Dealings engine. 4 Sobbles with the Keep Calling attack. You're able to find 3 basic Rapid Strike Pokemon, put it on your bench. Very, very important attack there. And something of note, though, there is an argument to playing the 70 HP Sobble, but sometimes a Keep Calling attack is just too important. So very heads up to just keep Keep Calling. And of course, we're playing the Shady Dealings Drizzile. You're able to find any trainer card once you evolve. And then the Shady Dealings Inteleon allows you to find 2 trainer cards when you evolve. Just great consistency cards for sure. Playing 1 Zigzagoon just to up the damage. Ping 10 damage sometimes, keep your opponent off guard. You reuse it as well using Scoop Up Net, but you're probably going to Scoop Up Net your Inteleons. Last attacker is the Drapion V. This is a card I'm definitely terrified of as a Mew player. With the Wild Style ability, you're able to use this dynamic tail attack for essentially 0 energy as long as your opponent has 4 Fusion Strike, Single Strike, or Rapid Strike cards in play. And against Mew, that's literally their entire bench. So 190 damage, take a knockout on a Mew VMAX, pretty good deal. With that, let's go ahead and go into the trainers. For the trainers, we're playing 4 Battle VIP Pass, just great setup card. 1 Canceling Cologne, we already talked about this. Great way to just shut off the Manaphys or potentially even Milk Tanks. Playing 3 Capacious Bucket, just great card in any water deck, able to find 2 water energy cards. Playing 4 Cross Switcher, just a great way to gust when we don't, because we're going to use Irida most of the time, or the Shady Dealings Inteleon. So this is a very, very good way to gust without having to use a boss's orders. Playing 1 Echoing Horn just to maybe up the opponent's bench. By upping the opponent's bench, we're increasing our damage or putting a 2 prize target that we can essentially try and close out the game with. So very, very good very good card here. Multiple uses. Playing for our ball search, we're playing 2 Evolution Incense, 1 Heavy Ball, 1 Level Ball, 2 Quick Ball, and 1 Ultra Ball. Multitude of different searches there, but very low counts. So that's something you have to keep in mind. We're also playing 1 Ordinary Rod. I like this addition in the deck because we are playing a lot of different tech cards. Well, like the Drapion, you're going to want 2 of those against Mew potentially. So very heads up, just putting an Ordinary Rod, or if your Sobbles get knocked out a little bit early, right? Playing 2 Scoop Up Net just to reuse our Shady Dealings or the Zigzagoon. Playing the 1 Path to the Peak and 1 Training Court. Again, both great cards. Sometimes you just want to either use Path to the Peak early, like we've seen Cal do, or pair that up with something like a Marnie or a Roxanne, so for early to mid to late game potentially. And Training Court, just a great way to get energies. For our supporter lineup, we're playing 1 Boss's Orders, 4 Iridas, 1 Leon just to up the damage. I like this addition. 1 Marnie, 1 Melanie, and 1 Roxanne. Again, very thin count besides the Irida, but sometimes all you really need is this Irida to really set up. For our tools, we're playing 1 Choice Belt and then 7 Water Energies. Again, very straightforward list. Sometimes it's just sometimes you just need a consistent deck to really perform consistently. With that, let's try and see if we can get some wins on the ladder. I'll see you there. All right, so we do have a game on our hands. Looks like we are going second. Opening hand, not too good, just because we don't see that Irida or Melanie. Looks like we're up against a Lost Zone box. Lost Zone, sorry, not essentially Lost Zone box, but something that runs the Lost Zone engine. We should know a little bit more in a bit. Looks like we're playing 1 Zigzagoon. This might be just the Sableye Lost Zone, pretty much. That means we need to put on pressure as soon as possible. And looking at this hand, I don't think we quite get there, but let's see what we can do here. You're just going to use the Flower Gathering again. Flower Selecting. Looking at the top 2 cards of your deck. Put 1 into your Lost Zone, 1 into your hand. Just great card to power up the Lost Zone and power up the... power up the Lost Zone, power up your hand, right? And let's see here. Let's see what else they get. Again, we saw the Mirage Gate, so this might be more than just the Sableye version, because sometimes the Sableye version, they don't really need the Mirage Gate, so because they only depend on 1 energy attachment per turn. This is making me think it might be the Giratina potentially, or a Lost Zone box that plays Radiant Greninja instead of the Radiant Charizard. And looks like we're just gonna get a pass there. Again, not quite sure what they're playing just yet. We get a hand here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab 2 water energies. We're going to use the Ultra Ball. Going to be a little bit greedy here. We're going to discard the Leon and the water energy. We're going to grab the Radiant Greninja just to be able to draw a couple of cards. Try and find myself that Battle VIP Pass. At least a Quick Ball would be nice just to get down a Palkia. A little bit of a gamble here, but it looks like it does pay off because we do grab the Irida. Irida can grab us the Palkia as well as a Battle VIP Pass. Just going to go ahead and grab both those cards. We'll drop the Palkia. We'll go Battle VIP, grabbing the Sobble. And another Palkia. We're going to attach to the Palkia here. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and pass the turn. There is some logic in dropping the Manaphy, but again, I'm not quite sure yet if they are playing the Radiant Greninja version or the Charizard version. Because as soon as I see the Radiant Greninja go down and play, or come into play, I am going to drop the Manaphy. Otherwise, I'm leaving that bench space open for another Palk or potentially another Drizzile, or another Sobble, excuse me. But either way, as long as they don't knock out both my Sobbles this next turn, we are going to be able to evolve into Drizzile, use the Shading Dealings, get an Irida, get more cards into play. And yes, let's see. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if they just attack with a Cram and then I still don't know what we're fully up against. And sometimes that's the power of the Lost Zone engine, especially with the capture energies, making me feel like this is the Giratina version. That means if it's the Giratina version, there should be a Radiant Greninja. So I might just go ahead and drop the Manaphy this next turn. Again, just with two compies, I don't have that much knowledge yet on what this deck could possibly be. And something that I'm kind of considering now is just evolving into Drizzile, picking up, using a Scoop Up Net, and getting a Marnie, just because their hand is getting extremely big here. And yes, let's see here. Capture energy. Are we gonna finally see an attacker? I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Cramorant, that exact card right there. And Cramorant, again, with the Lost Provision, as long as there are 4 or more cards in the Lost Zone, which there 100% is on his side of the field, they're able to use Spit Innocently for 110 damage for no energy. That means one of my Sobbles is going to go down here. I'm not too opposed to that. If they don't bench the other Compe, like out of fear of the Radiant Greninja, I will hit them with the Marnie this next turn. We will gamble. Maybe we don't draw into the Palkia VSTAR, but I think, again, just trying to... They have an absolutely huge hand. I do want to try and control that, especially if they take a card this turn, and if they don't drop a second Compe. Something I could do is even attack with Radiant Greninja, take out the lone Compe. That is a possibility as well here. And let's see what they do. They go into Cramorant. And actually, we could try and win. Now that I think about it, we could try and win this turn. We play a Zigzagoon and a Scoop Up Net. So I think we go for it. Why not? Why not? Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. You get a Training Court. That doesn't help too much. We're going to go ahead and use the concealed cards on the Radiant Greninja. Let's see what we get. We got the Evolution Incense. That is perfect. We'll grab this. And I think... No, we don't have it quite yet. We'll grab the Palkia. We'll drop the Palkia. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the Drizzile to get... Let's see. I have to get the Quick Ball to grab the Zigzagoon, right? That means Irida isn't just going to cut it here. Yeah, Irida is not going to cut it. We're just going to grab the Quick Ball off this, and we're going to use the Marnie. Sure. Let's try and just... Yeah, we'll go ahead and Quick Ball away this, grabbing the Zigzagoon. I will opt to bench the Manaphy. We'll drop this. Let's put 10 damage on the Cram, and now if we hit a Scoop Up Net off this, we do win the game, and looks like we are... Sometimes, again, my opponent tried to play around the Radiant Greninja, but sometimes you see the opportunity to do something like this, and good game to my opponent. All right, so we do have a game here. Let's see if we can win the coin flip. We do. Absolutely huge. Again, all we need is a Palkia and energy. A Battle VIP would be nice. No, there's a Battle VIP, but we're gonna mulligan this. There's the Battle VIP and the energy. That's all we needed on turn 1. Looks like we're going to get just that anyway. Not... Actually, this hand's a little bit scary just because we don't have the Drizzile. We don't have anything for the next turn, but there are a lot of live cards in the top deck. We do get the Heavy Ball. Let's see what's in the prizes. unfortunately nothing we can grab. That means what I'm gonna do here, was that like a, was that like a 3 Iridas? I might be playing too fast and loose here. We'll go ahead and grab the Palkia and the Radiant Greninja. This way we do get some draws. If we can find an Irida, that would be great. We get 2 more Sobbles. Not opposed to that. We get the attachment for turn as well. And we're going to go ahead and pass. We actually have an attack next turn, potentially. Yeah, we do have an attack next turn. Looks like we're up against Kyurem, the Kyurem VMAX deck. So we'll see if what flavor of Palkia should be better here. They do get the Irida themselves. With Irida, they can grab the Battle VIP Pass and the Radiant Greninja. Love to see it. Looks like we are going to have a game in our hands. We both have a pretty good start, if I don't say so myself. Top decking into a level ball would be absolutely huge. Do we have knockout on this Kyurem? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 7. So 7 at the moment. We're doing 200 with a subspace well. That means we are 1 bench Pokemon away from taking the knockout. We could bench the Drapion, take the knockout. They dropped the training court as well for us. Not too bad. That means we can make use of that as well. Something I do want to hit them with next turn is they grab the Choice Belt on the Palkia. Looks like they're committing to attacking with the Palkia themselves. That means I don't want to get a full bench. Possibly. Look, looks like they are going to go commit to the full bench themselves. All right, that means we have enough. We don't have to drop the Drapion. And as long as we don't fill the 5th bench space, we should be good here. Looks like they use a Battle VIP Pass, grabbing a second Palkia. All right, we really do want to take a knockout on the Kyurem, getting the Drizzile absolutely perfect. We'll go ahead and conceal the cards here. Let's see what we get. Battle VIP, Zigzagoon. What we're going to do is just go Palkia. We're going to use the Drizzile here on the Sobble. Let's grab ourselves the Irida. We only have 1 Irida in the deck, but we should be taking a couple of prizes here. All right, yeah, we'll grab the Irida. Something that is a little scary is we don't have... Yeah, we don't quite have a space for another Palk, but I could grab the Palk as well as the Scoop Up Net here, right? If I do this, I can scoop up the Drizzile, go into that. We can drop the Palk instead of going into... No, I don't want to drop another Sobble. This way they don't take a knockout with the Palkia. And I'm going to grab the energy using the training cord. And the scary thing is I could drop this. And I think I don't really need anything, so I'm just going to find myself an Evolution Incense for next turn. That sounds good to me. We'll go ahead and attach the Water Energy, and we'll take the knockout using Subspace Swell on the Kyurem. 220 damage exactly, not too bad there. We get an Irida. We get 2 Iridas. That's to be expected. Let's see if they have the way to knock out here. I think if my math is right, as long as we don't put the 5th bench Pokemon, the max they can do is 240. 240 plus the belt is 270, right? And as long as they don't get the knockout, we are going to be good. They go ahead and lost a vacuum. Their own training court, potentially. Which is all right. Yeah, they have to... I don't think they'd want to get rid of the Choice Belt. Or they could, because they're not... If they don't get the big one-hit knockout, Choice Belt maybe is not doing too much. Looks like maybe they misclick the lost vacuum. But let's see here. They discard a Melanie out of everything. Let's see what they choose to get rid of. If I had to guess, it is going to be that Choice Belt. That means they're not going to get the big one-hit knockout here. They're going to go for the Oranguru. And the fact that they don't have another Kyurem makes my Palkia feel very, very safe. There we go. We see the Irida here. If I had to guess, finding another Kyurem. I think if they drop another Kyurem, we're definitely going to go try and find the boss's orders for that, because Kyurem is very, very scary. Kyurem is the way that they're able to get big one-hit knockouts. Eventually, it looks like they're going to grab the Capacious Bucket So they are going to be able to get the attack. And the fact that they grab Luminion is scaring me. They could boss up this Palkia, but that means I have Palkia with 2 energy, and there's a Luminion in play that is there for me to try and close out the game with. All right. And something that we also have at our disposal is we have the Zigzagoon. If they drop the Luminion, boss this guy up, they have 4. That means we can do 270, 280 with the Zigzagoon. Let's see what they opt to do. If they just attack into the Palkia, that's a-okay as well. We have access to Leon. That could be cute. Looks like they're going to retreat. They're going to go with the Radiant Greninja play here instead. Just take out both my Drizzile and the Sobble. Since I opted not to bench another Sobble, this is definitely a way to punish that decision there. And they're just going to take 2 prizes. I'm not opposed to that play. And it puts me on the back foot for sure. Yeah, I think here we just have to hope we draw into... No, we're not going to draw into that. Just going to drop a Sobble. I think we just attack. We'll use the training court. Let's see if we can get anything with the Radiant Greninja. If we can get 1... Oh, we got the boss. That's actually perfect. That is great. So we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Doing 180. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I use the boss's orders, but we have the attachment to the Palkia, which is nice. Give me a sec here. If I do boss 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're doing 180. I have to bench the Zigzagoon and the Drapion to get this knockout. I think I'm okay with doing that. I'm very, very ahead at the moment. They had to get rid of their own Choice Belt. They have the Melanie next turn. I think I'm okay with that. We'll go ahead and zig this guy. We'll drop the Drapion. Go ahead and boss's order this Palkia. If hopefully my math is right, I'd be kind of sad if I didn't have to drop the Drapion. No, it's exactly 220 there. The fact that I also got the 10 damage down onto the Palkia VSTAR on the bench is kind of big. And now we're in an okay spot. If they want to get a big one-hit knockout on my Palkia, they're going to have to fill up the bench. And if they fill up the bench, that means my Palkia does enough damage. And they're just going to go ahead and Luminous Sign here. I think they have to find themselves a Melanie because they did have to discard one. Let's see what they grab. They go for the Melanie here. Drawing 3 cards. They're going to be able to do... They have another Choice Belt, right? I forget. Maybe the Kyurem decks do play a heavier count of Choice Belt for sure. Do they have a 5th Pokemon? If they don't have the 5th Pokemon, they go for the Ultra Ball here. All right, all right. In that case, they do have the 5th Pokemon. That means they are going to take a knockout using the Palkia. But by dropping the 5th Pokemon, means we also have a knockout on the Palkia. We have a knockout on anything, to be honest. We have the Irida. We have the Sobble. There's the Training Court as well. If they drop a Crobat... Yeah, no, we got it. Because with Irida, that gets us into the Cross Switcher for sure. So we should be good here. And let's see, though, what they can do. Again, the fact that they had to play Melanie, that means they didn't have an opportunity to use a... They didn't have an opportunity to use a hand disruption style supporter like Roxanne. That was very nice for sure. They go for the Subspace Swell onto my Palkia, 290 damage. And we are going to... Let's go into Radiant Greninja first. Just to be safe. We get the Cap Bucket, which is nice. Just get 2 energies. Let's double check. There's 4 Cross Switchers in the deck. That seems good. We'll just attach. We'll go ahead and use this. Grabbing one of those Cross Switchers. Oh, looks like we missed it. Yeah, we'll grab one of those. We use the Irida. Again, we had multiple ways to play this out. Could have even used the Leon there. Grab the Irida, just grab another Cross Switcher. Grab the Sobble, why not? And with that, we have a double Cross Switcher into the Luminion, go into the Palkia, and we'll go ahead and Subspace Well. Again, we had so many more resources still. And sometimes just the consistency is the way there. Good game to my opponent. All right, we get another game on our hands here. Let's see if we can Unfortunately, we don't win the coin flip, but that's a-okay. Let's see what our opponent's playing. If they're playing fire, we're off to a great start. Well, either way, love to see the Battle VIP Pass opening. Something missing, though, is just the Irida. If we get the Irida, we can get water energy, and looks like it's going to be another Lost Zone box. Well, Lost Zone engine deck. Again, not quite sure what it is yet. It could be Reshiram. That could be really cool. That's something I haven't quite seen just yet, and looks like that's exactly what it is. There's the amazing Reshiram with amazing plays, doing 200 sand damage, but it does 60 to itself. Yeah, looks like this hand, despite the double VIP open, is actually not too good here. I'm gonna grab double Sobble. We'll use this and grab double Palkia. And unfortunately, it's gonna be a pass. Again, no supporter in hand, no water energy either. This could get very, very messy, ladies and gentlemen. But again, we do have the type advantage, so we can attack with something like the Inteleons potentially to skew the prize race, because again, amazing Reshiram is absolutely terrifying. 270 damage, just 1 damage modifier away from taking a knockout on our Palkia VSTAR, but looks like they're starting out a little bit slow. We get a Melanie, and it's going to be a pass. Again, without the energy, we can't get going. Without energy, level balls, anything like that. We have so many live cards in our deck, but sometimes stuff like this happens. And we're going to see the flower selecting again. Looks like they opt to discard a Colress Experiment. Looks like it was a double. I have a feeling it was double Colress Experiment because they didn't use the supporter last turn. So, all right, let's see it. They don't have enough yet to be able to attack with... to be able to use Mirage Gate, but they're like 1 energy attachment away from at least doing an attack here. There it is. Do we see the Scoop Up Net? There, okay. So they are going to take a knockout on our lone Sobble here. They go double Comfey, and they go Amazing Blaze. All right, 270 damage, 60 damage to themselves. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into the Sobble and pray. We do get Irida. Okay, with the Irida, that opens up a lot of possibilities. We'll evolve into the Palkia. We'll do Irida here, grabbing a Drizzile as well as the Capacious Bucket. We'll do Capacious Bucket, grabbing 2 water energy. All right, we're rolling here. I think what I want to do here this next turn is actually attack with a Radiant Greninja. That is something we can do potentially. What am I going to do here? I'm going to... Let's see. We'll Drizzile. Grabbing... I think we need... this is actually a tough one here. I need a way to get another energy into discard pile. This is a tough one. But I think I might have to Scoop Up Net. We'll Scoop Up Net this guy and just go concealed cards again. Just try and get another Drizzile if possible. Looks like we do get it. With that, we can go Drizzile. We can grab the Capacious Bucket. We can use the Capacious Bucket here. Grab 2 energies. Attach 1 to the Drizzile in the active. We can retreat. And we can go ahead and Star Portal 1, 2, 3 onto the Radiant Greninja. And here's the thing. Do I attack? I think I want to knock out both the Comfies. As much as this is a threat, if they attack with this again, they get knocked out. So if I take 2 Comfies here, they attack with the the amazing Reshiram. I mean, I'll take a prize on their turn. Would not be opposed to that. And this way I got rid of essentially their draw engines, right? Let's see what they do. Again, they could go into a new Reshiram. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With the Colress Experiment, puts them over the line. Again, it does, all they need is 7 to be able to use the Mirage Gate. And now with the Colress Experiment, that is a possibility. With a giant hand, I have to expect they possibly have it. They go in another, there is the other amazing Reshiram here. And do they have the energy? Do they have the Mirage Gate? That's all they need, because they can just manually retreat the Reshiram with the damage. There's a Radiant Howlucha there, but we are okay. They go for the Amazing Blaze, just as we expected, knocking themselves out as well. They go down to 4. We go down to 3. All right. We'll go ahead and promote the Palkia. If we could find... No, I think we have it. I'm pretty sure... Well, no, I have to use Melanie here, because I don't have an attack if I don't. Right, with the Melanie... Oh, no, I have it. I have the Ultra Ball. We got it. We'll go ahead and use the Melanie onto the Palkia. We'll attach the energy. A little bit of a mistake on my end is I definitely should have... Yeah, we'll grab... Oh, no! The Inteleon is prized. So, since we don't have access to the Shady Dealings Inteleon, we won't be able to gust up the Reshiram now, because we're out... Yeah, we don't have any Sobbles in play. We need to change that. Use a quick ball here, discarding the Drapion, and I feel like one of the Iridas should be a-okay. I think that's fine. And we'll grab a Sobble. And the scary thing is here, they're 1 damage modifier away from knocking out our Palkia. If they do that, I don't have the capability, I think, to power up another Palkia, because we only run 1 Melanie, which we already used. So I'm just going to go ahead and Subspace Swell here. Not the most optimal Subspace Swell. There is an argument to just not attack that turn, but I don't quite like that. Let's see if they have the Mirage Gate and the damage modifier. There's a Mirage Gate. They're doing 270. Palkia has 280 HP. They drop the Zigzagoon. They go for the Chorus Experiment. That's 5 cards deeper here. Again, unfortunately, we were a prize off. Probably should have checked if we had access to that Inteleon. And let's see what they do here. They drop the Moltres. Oh, that's enough. Because of the flare symbol on the Moltres, the Reshiram now is doing 280 damage. Very nice tech there for this matchup. They even dropped the... Oh, okay. They're dropping a 2-prizer. That is the opening we probably needed here. They attach an energy to the Raikou. That might be exactly what we need. They're going to go for the Amazing Blaze, doing 280 damage, taking 60 themselves. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit them with the Roxanne, and then hopefully try and find a way to boss up the Raikou eventually. We'll go ahead and go into Drizzile. We will evolve this guy, grabbing the Roxanne. Grab Roxanne. We have 3 water energies. That's all we have to try and find. Sure. We'll quick ball away the Battle VIP. Let's see. Nothing in particular I want. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop the Zig that. Attach this here. We will go ahead and play the Path. And honestly, I will play the Scoop Up Net just so that a Level Ball is live for us as well in the next coming turns, and we'll go ahead and Roxanne. Very important, we just grab an energy. That's all I want off this Roxanne. If we can get an energy, that would be great. Looks like we do, and we even have the boss. So we have game this next turn. We'll attach, and it's just up to them. If they can find a boss's orders here, they do win the game. But that's why we do play the cards like Roxanne, especially against the single prize decks. Single prize decks that don't have the innate support like Bibarels or Inteleons are very susceptible to the Roxanne. And Roxanne Path also means, they can't draw a card using Fleet-Footed, and they can't go into something like Leminion or Crobat. This is the exact position you want to be in as a Palkia player sometimes. And yeah, they're going to knock themselves out as well. And with that actually just wins us the game, because they can't promote anything that can take a hit. Yeah, all I have to do is go Palkia. and they go into the Raikou. If I get a water energy, we are golden. And just to double check, we're doing 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160. Oh, are we? Do we knock out? In any case, we'll grab that. We'll grab the energy. Let's double check again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're doing 160, 190. So just enough because of the Zigzagoon ping, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 160, 190. Yeah, subspace swell there. We had access to like the Irida too, to just try and find ourselves another Pokemon, to be honest. Last prize is the Inteleon. And again, we got to showcase the power of this Palkia deck. Sometimes, sometimes you just got to Roxanne path your way to victory. And that was Calvin Connor's second place Palkia Inteleon. Again, I think consistency was the key to winning our games in the ladder for sure. But again, I think that was the key as well for Calvin Connor. Again, when it comes to playing in a big regionals, Palkia is not a bad decision at all. Again, since we have the Drizzile engine, the Shady Dealings engine, as well as 4 Iridas, it's just one really consistent deck, as well as having a VSTAR ability just helps out with that consistency as well. I think is a great pick, especially when it comes to those big regional tournaments. Sometimes consistency is key. Again, you're going to be playing multiple rounds of best of 3 Pokemon, and something you don't want to do is potentially brick a crucial round, right? And with the Palkia, I think it's not unlikely. Again, if you've seen the finals, again, it was Tord Rekliv against Cal Connor. Cal did miss a beat on that second game, but again, it happens in Pokemon. But I think it's less likely with this Palkia deck for sure. Again, Cal getting second place in an absolutely huge regional, losing only to one of the best players in the game, Tord Rekliv. Gotta give him huge props. With that, that's gonna be it for me. My name is PrimeTimeWizardTV. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified when new videos do come out. All right, I'll see you guys next time.
The Shuffle Squad is proudly sponsored by Atlas Collectibles, the best place to buy any trading card game product online. Visit atlastcg.com and at the checkout screen, make sure to use code TSS12 to save an unbeatable 12% off your entire order. Atlas Collectibles will ship your product anywhere in the world, so make sure you're taking advantage of the 12% savings with TSS12. And if Pokemon is not your thing, don't worry. Go to atlastcg.com and see all the other amazing trading card game products they have there to offer.
The Shuffle Squad is partnered with PTCGO Store to provide our community with the best access to Pokemon TCG codes. They have codes available 24/7, instant email delivery, and you can save 5% off by using code TSS5. If you're a YouTube member or Patreon supporter, you'll have access to a special code that gets you 10% off. So what are you waiting for? Use code TSS5 today and save 5% on your next order of codes on any codes available at PTCGOstore.com.
PokeXWord, the best place to get your fill of Pokemon-inspired puzzles. New puzzles are posted every day, and they recently launched a new Guess That Pokemon puzzle, which is a ton of fun to play. Go check them out at PokeXWord.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter for your chance to win a ton of PTCGO codes every month.
Check out the Late Night Series Season 6, brought to you by myself, Zach Lesage, and the Shuffle Squad. We're going to be running a bunch of sick events for the Pokemon community, and they start on August 30th. So one thing you might be noticing here is that there's an EU time and an NA time. We have one at 12 p.m. Eastern, which works out to about 5 p.m. in London. And then we have one at 7 p.m. Eastern, which should help out a lot of players on the West Coast play in this event. That being said, we still have a lot of cool things going on. Expect similar prizing that we've had for other Late Night Series events. Expect better staffing, expect better tournament experiences, and of course we do have a stream going up for this season as well, and I will be streaming the event on Twitch. That being said, we have the whole season up on the Play Limitless website. Late Night 51 all the way through 70 runs until we hit the Invitational on November 5th. So check that out, sign up today, and support Zach Lesage Events and the Shuffle Squad. See you there.